Welcome back, Eddie with the Bite Lane. I'm doing a recap on my 2024, my Chevy, the camper shell that I bought by Black River Camper Shell. I had a few comments in my last video about the quality of it. They wanted to see some other things where it hinged and the latch and stuff. So in this video, I'm going to show you, do a quick walkthrough on the hinge, how it closes, a little bit of wobbliness in there, whatever you want to see, and let's get into it. So here you can see that this is the supplied rope they give you on there. And if you pull it down just by it, obviously if you pull it kind of hard and fast like that, it's going to wobble. It is an aluminum camper shell, so you're limited on like really hard rigidity. But if you just pull it down slowly and you grab it with two hands like that, you're back and forth with it. Yeah, it's gonna have wobble, but you're not gonna slam it down with just the one side like that. See how it did it? It didn't latch. So when you pull hard on just that, it's only gonna latch that side. It doesn't latch it. It latches the left side because it kind of bounces when it hits because it's got a pretty thick seal on it. You want to be careful. The good thing when you want to unload it, you just pop her open, kind of jump in there, and you can kind of stand up there and unload it pretty easy. I love the thing. I use it every day like that. You can just stand up in there, move the stuff around. You can kind of move around in the truck bed. With the traditional camper shell, you're pretty limited on doing that. So anyways, I think it's, for me, works great. I love it like that. Walk up, in and out, easy to unload and load it. So here is the hinge area there. You can see the little bar going across where it hinges on the main, but like I said, the whole thing is completely aluminum, so there's not going to be super rigid. It hinges right on the edge there, opens up and down with the shock absorbers, the gas struts that kind of help push it open. And then a top view, you can also see there as well, when you close it, open down, it hinges right on that top portion right there on that bar going across. I would imagine the bar inside there is probably a stainless steel threaded bar in there it's gonna hinge on. But I haven't had any issues with it. I had to do some tightening on the actual bolts and the latch itself, but I've had it on there for probably 6,000 or 7,000 miles, so there's going to be some adjustments that need to be made after the fact. So like here you can see it's a little wobbly, but if you're grabbing it with both hands when you're closing it, I've never had an issue of it not clamping down right. And like I said, the gasket around the edge is pretty thick and pretty nice. Just want to show a close-up of the latch system. Nothing too crazy, nothing wildly, overly, engineered. You do want to use two hands to close this thing though. Please use two hands. One hand is just going to keep tweaking it. As you can see earlier in the video how it tweaks. There's two hands. Close it. Open it up. I used one hand there. I don't think it quite latched all the way because can't get enough force on the latch when you're trying to do it. It doesn't just close all the way. You need to actually use two hands. And you don't want to use just the pull string either to do it because it kind of see how it tweaks it when you did it. And there's also a loose screw right there, which I never even noticed. Want to get that tightened up. That prompted me. Next, I'll show you. I kind of went around and tightened everything, but there you can see the actual latch itself is rubbing against the body of the camper shell. And there's a wire that goes behind there, which isn't the best design, going to the third brake light. They probably should have moved that or attached that inside better. So that part's probably not a great design, but I definitely need to move that portion in more, the actual catch there of the latch, just move it in a little bit so it's not rubbing on the body of the camper shell. But there is that little flexibility because it's aluminum. So here we are tightening up some of the Allen wrenches all around. They are all a little bit loose. That's where it actually hinges. That's the main hinging point there. The triangle portion, that's where the hinge hinges. So a lot of the stress is on those three Allens, and then on the latch itself, the little bracket for the latch are all a little bit loose. But I use it a lot every day, quite a bit. So to be understandable, that's going to be loose, so no big deal. I love the thing. Loving it. That's that. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed that video. It kind of showed some of the rigidity, some of the flimsiness of it. I don't think any of them are perfect when you have something that big opening that far, and it's all aluminum because you want to keep it pretty light too. You don't want it super heavy, so there's going to have some flex to it, but haven't had an issue. Just those one spots maybe where it's rubbing a little bit on the latches. I just got to do some adjustment now that it's been like 6 months. And as you can see, those bolts that were loose, we tightened those up, got them a little more snugged up. So just some maintenance to do, probably something you got to check every once in a while. Loving the thing so far. I have nothing bad to say to it other than just the price. Maybe it's not cheap, but it's worth it. Great stuff's worth buying. It all comes one big piece assembled on a big crate. So peace out until the next one. Thank you so much. Shout out to all my comments, all my followers, all my people want more videos. I'll make them. You say what you like. Let me know. I'll make videos, and peace out.